Hey everyone, so I'm finally getting around to filming my favourites of 2012. I, for the most part, tried to get most things down to like 2 things, but it didn't really work out very well, so there's 3 or 4 and a couple of things, but I'm going to try and get through them as quick as possible, not really faff on too much about them, and just let you know what I was loving. This isn't me telling you like my favourite all-time products in the whole world ever, it's just all the bits that I really had a love affair with in 2012 and kept going back to and reusing. And I'm not really going to be adding anything that I picked up just in December, because I just don't think it's long enough for me to say that it was like a total love throughout all of 2012. So first of all, for cleansing products, my clear favourites, and I've repurchased these many times throughout the year, were first my La Roche-Posay micellar solution, and this was the one for sensitive skin. So this is a cleansing water, kind of like the MAC Mineralized one or something like that. I started off with the MAC Mineralized one and then moved on to the Vichy one, and then this. The Vichy and this both stand head to head, they're level, but I absolutely love it. So this costs about 15 quid and it does last for a good while. You don't need a huge amount on the cotton pad, but it lasts for ages. So I absolutely love this product, and I get it from the local pharmacies here in Galway or from Boots. And then this Garnier Simple Essentials 2-in-1 eye makeup remover. This is a dual phase one, so it's oil and water, and you just shake it to mix it up and it takes off everything. It takes off, like, it's not just eye makeup, it's everything, and it's really good for taking off that initial top layer of like eye makeup and lips and and face and everything, and then I use the other cleanser to take away any oil residue or anything like that. So I absolutely love those. For skin treatments, it was my Clinique clarifying lotion, and I use the number 2 for dry sensitive. This is a chemical exfoliant, so it slows away all those dead skin cells, and great for anyone who has those flakes on their skin or anything like that. You can get it in 4 different kind of strengths. There's one for dry skin, this is the dry combination, there's combination oily, and then there's for oily skin. I like it because it's not that strong. I like it because it is quite mild, but it still works really well, and you can use it up to 2 times a day or less if you don't feel like you need it. Really found that worked well throughout the year. And then this was a godsend throughout the year. It was my La Roche-Posay Effaclar Duo treatment. This is for anyone who has problem skin, so it works by clearing out your skin from topically as well as from underneath. I suppose it has AHAs which take care of the top of the skin, and BHAs which help clear out the skin from below the surface. So I really love this, and it works a treat. I use it maybe 3 or 4 nights in a row usually if I find that I need it, and it clears everything up. Then for my sunblock throughout all of summer, the 2 ones that really stood out for me, because they worked so well as moisturizers as well as sunblock, so I didn't need to use both together, was first the Vichy Capital Soleil. Brilliant, and this comes in 2 different like types, so there's one for dry skin and one for combination oily skin. I had the one for combination oily skin, so it kept me nice and matte throughout the summer, which was really important, as well as keeping me hydrated, and it was a perfect base for makeup. So I had that in the 50 and the 30, and also the Sultan Once face and also the normal Sultan face. So this is the water resistant one, and it is an SPF of 30. I also have the one which is just the normal one that's not necessarily waterproof, but they're both very affordable. I got them on a 2 for 1 in Boots, and again work as a brilliant makeup base and moisturizer as well. Moisturizers, the 2 ones that I totally fell in love with were first the Clinique Even Better Skin Tone Correcting Moisturiser. This is an SPF of 20. I've been using this non-stop since I got it, and I will absolutely be repurchasing once it's over and done with, because I just love it. It just suits my skin absolutely perfectly. And then the Vichy Idealia, I had been using this for nighttime, and again it's one of those ones that I will absolutely repurchase. This was sent to me, but I fell in love with it. It's again a skin tone correcting one, and it's illuminating as well. It's just a really lovely, like really hydrating moisturizer without being too rich, but I really love it for nighttime and for daytime, but for nighttime mainly because there's no SPF in it. Then for eye cream, I couldn't keep this to 2. I had to bring it up to 3. So first of all, I've showed this many times, it's my Clinique All About Eyes. This is brilliant because it's perfect for underneath eye makeup. It's actually formulated to work really well underneath eye makeup. It makes your like concealer go on so smooth, and it just works as a perfect base, but it also is lovely for hydrating under the eye area. Then the Origins Plantscription Anti-Aging Eye Treatment. This one is a little bit more pricey. This one here has some kind of really fancy technology behind it. I don't know, if you go onto the Origins website you can read about it, but this is just extremely hydrating. That's what I want for underneath the eye area, and because dehydration is like the worst thing for underneath the eye area. It just shows off any lines, and that really battles that. And then this Elemis, this was also sent to me throughout the year, but I fell in love with it and I hope to get my hands on it again once this does finally clear up or empty out. It's the Elemis Pro Collagen Advanced Eye Treatment. Again, this has a lot of technology and mumbo jumbo behind it. I did, I'm not sure if I did an or a blog post on this, but this was, I think, 3 years in development or something like that, but regardless of that, it works brilliantly. It's just extremely hydrating. It goes on more like a fluid. It just hydrates, intensely hydrates. It's really beautiful. You need so little. You only need literally a drop between the two sides, a small drop on each side, and it works brilliantly. And it comes with a little dropper like this, so it's easy not to waste too much. For primers, the two that I definitely want to go back to once they're finished and that I've been using on clients are the Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Primer. This is a newer one by MAC. This is brilliant for like combination oily skins. It has a yellow kind of tint to it, so it's brilliant for helping combat redness and to calm down a high complexion and stuff like that. And you get so much for it. It's 50ml. I think it's about €39 here in Ireland. And then the Airbrush Array Primer by No. 7 is one that I fell in love with as well. It just works really well. It's one of those primers that it's again silicone based, but it just goes on really, really smooth. It smooths out the surface brilliantly. It makes the makeup last longer. It also kind of helps minimize the appearance of fine lines and stuff like that. So that's a brilliant product. Now, foundations, of course, you're not going to be surprised that I wasn't able to stick to two of them. So quickly, I won't harp on about them too much because I've spoken about all of them a lot throughout the year. My Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation for myself, love, 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 love. I keep going back to it. I'll go away and try new foundations every now and again when I get new ones, and then I'll constantly go back to this. So this is a very strong love of mine. The Vichy Air Taunt Pure, particularly during the summer. This is a lovely, breathable, light, beautiful, skin-like but flawless kind of foundation. I have blogged about this. I will link to that below, and I keep going back to it. I also picked up a few more of these for my kit. I have a few of these for my kit, but also the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum was one that I really loved, but more so for my kit than for me. The Max Factor Ageless Elixir 2-in-1 Foundation Serum. I adored this throughout the year. I'm the lightest one, which is the Ivory. This is golden, but I picked up all the colours bar one for my kit as well, which I will eventually pick up that other one. It is just a flawless medium to full coverage foundation. Definitely check it out, and it gives a really beautiful lift and radiance to the skin. It's very, very strong winner there. And then I also had to add my Vichy Air Taunt Mineral Foundation. This is one that I used many, many times throughout the year, particularly over the winter actually. For some reason I just used it an awful lot. I'm number 10 Opal. It doesn't even look like powder when it's on the skin. I got so many people asking me what foundation I was wearing, and they thought I was wearing some kind of beautiful, new, luminous, gorgeous liquid foundation, but it was this guy here. It just gives a really beautiful lift to the skin and really good coverage as well if you add it on, and it's very hard to look cakey, but yeah, definitely go for that. It comes with a little brush, but the brush that it came with was crap, but ignore that. I just applied with a different brush. Okay, so for concealers, there was no way I was going to be able to keep this to two products, so I'll start off with the lower kind of end products, and they are first of all the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I fell in love with this when I bought it and have been using it nearly on a daily basis as my under eye concealer. It is the number 15 I go for, which is like the pink pink kind of colour for the fair range of the foundations in Ireland anyhow. The 120 is the palest one here. I think there's a 110 and a 115 that you can get in America, but we don't have them here unfortunately, so there's nothing pale enough foundation wise for me, but this is amazing for underneath the eye. I think the light kind of yellow toned one would be fine for the face as well, which is not the foundation, so that's brilliant. So of course it's going to be the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection Concealer. I have absolutely no writing left in this because I've used it so much, and this is in the colour Light too, which is kind of a pinky one as well. Amazing one for the price. It's only about €6 and it's brilliant for underneath the eye. It's many people's holy grail under eye concealer from what I can see from reading different blogs. And then another drugstore one is this Revlon Photo Ready Concealer. This is brilliant for anyone who's looking for a really good blemish concealer on a budget, and I really like the stick form that it's in. I go for the colour number 3, which is the light medium. No, actually I don't. I go for the colour number 2. I just pulled this one out of my kit. But yeah, really good. concealers, and I did pick up a few of the colours for my kit as well, so I was really, really impressed by it. Now this is be kind of a drugstore product, but of course it's my beloved Vichy Derma Blend. This is my holy grail concealer, absolutely. I have a few colours from my kit as well. It just covers everything. It's a camouflage concealer, but it is just not cakey and horrible looking on. I think it's a wonder product. This would absolutely be one of my desert island products for sure. Love that guy, and it lasts me forever as well. There's so much in it. And then finally, two more kind of liquidy ones. The Mineralized Concealer by MAC. This came out only last year as well, or maybe it was at the end of 2011, I can't remember, but it is a fantastic concealer, particularly for underneath the eye. It's just lovely and fluid and has really good coverage, but it's not at all cakey. It doesn't go into lines. It's just a really, really lovely concealer. And then the Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC. This quickly became my favourite concealer, liquid concealer of 2012 as well. This one covers very, very well for a liquid, and it really does last a long, long time. So this is a brilliant product for both under the eye and for blemishes. There's very few products that I'll say works really well for both, and this is one of them. So absolutely fantastic product. For powders, again, I couldn't stick to two. I'm gone down to three. Now, I don't have my Mineralized Skin Finish in this because I ran out of my own light like at the very start of last year, and I just never replenished it because there were many other ones that I wanted to use, so that's why that's not here. But I loved my Vichy Derma Blend powder throughout the year. This is one of those white kind of silica based ones, and it's really, really long lasting and all that kind of stuff, and it makes your Vichy foundations or the Derma Blend foundations waterproof and smudge proof and all that. But this is totally indetectable. That's the word I'm looking for, I hope, on the skin, and it's beautiful. It's not powdery at all looking or anything like that. Another one that I picked up was this, and it's extremely affordable. It's the Skin Finish by Catrice. I was extremely impressed by the quality of this for the price, because Catrice are very, very inexpensive here in Ireland and in many other countries, I believe. This was a lovely light colour. It's quite neutral. It's a little bit on the pink side, but it actually was fine on my skin for most of the time. Highly recommend this for anyone on a budget looking for a good powder. Then a late arrival, but it got in just on time, was the Visible Blend Powder by Clinique, and it's number 20 I went for, which was kind of like the translucent one, but it has a slight kind of gold, like a goldy cream kind of colour to it, so it's perfect for light skin tones, and for, I think it's supposed to suit any skin tone, but this again is just beautiful on the skin. It doesn't look powdery, it's indetectable. Really love that. And then, okay, cheeks for bronzers slash contours, say. One that I just couldn't stop going back to was the Bourjois Healthy Balance Unifying Powder, and this is the reason it's a contour is because I go for the colour 55 Beige, and I just found that this gave me the most natural, like bronzy kind of contour effect for my skin tone, and I absolutely love it. I think a lot of other powders in darker skin tones can be a little bit too red and too kind of muddy looking. This, not at all. It was fantastic. It is fantastic on my skin, and I will absolutely repurchase these. I have all these colours for my kit as well, and I love that powder. And also this Bourjois bronzing powder in the Délice de Soleil, more so as a bronzer rather than a contour for me, because it is a little bit on the ready side for a contour, but I loved it as a bronzer throughout the summer, particularly on my skin tone, and I used it on a lot of clients. So those two were brilliant products. For I'm going to show highlighters next, because this also contains a bronzer that I fell in love with. This is the Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette by LetzMakeup. This is in the colour light, and it came with this particular contour shade, which I just used to death, and I can't remember when I got it. I think it was September. It was in the second half of the year anyhow, and I use it so much, and it doesn't look like there's a dent in it, so that's a brilliant product. Also this highlighter in it, I've been using this to death. I really haven't been using any other powder highlighters really since I came across this one on myself, rather than for my kit, but I love it. I haven't really used this shade too much because it's not really a shade I'd use a huge amount on myself just for my own skin tone, but it is a beautiful colour. Apparently it's very similar to the NARS Orgasm colour, I think, and it looks very like is it Spring Sheen or like Peachy Keen, Spring Sheen I think by MAC, one of those kind of ones. So that's a brilliant product. I was really impressed by that, and you can get that on the LetzMakeup website. And while we're talking about highlighters, this Pearl Cream Colour Base by MAC was a very close second. Well, I wouldn't even say second, it kind of was on par with that, because oftentimes I prefer the look of the cream highlighter to the powder. I don't have this on today, but I've used this in many tutorials, and this is a brilliant product, and I love it for my skin tone because it has that gold undertone to it. The cream colour bases come in a few different colours, so there's one to suit all skin tones. They're brilliant. Then for blushers, powder blushers, I have two in particular. They are one Margin by MAC. The colour is just beautiful. It's like a golden peach, and I use it a lot on clients and love it on myself and love it on light tan, and it goes with every skin tone, so that's a brilliant product. And then another one that I absolutely fell in love with, like I've used it many times before and like over the last few years, but last year it really took a root in my heart. It was the Warm Soul by MAC. This is, I'd say, my favourite blush at the moment, and has been for the last few months. It is a beautiful kind of goldeny, rosy, tanny, I don't know, I'm crap at trying to come up with colours sometimes, a mineralised blush, and I absolutely adore it.